Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to today's reading. I don't know if this is going to be a pick a card or if it's just going to be this singular reading, but for the past couple of days, I have felt like there is a message that I need to put out there for whoever needs to hear it, whoever needs to find it, whoever needs to see it, whoever needs that confirmation. So yeah, I don't know what's going to come through. I just know that this is meant to be a message that you should hear when you are ready to hear it, which I suppose is now, whenever this video has found you. So let's see what comes through. I want to pull an oracle card to get an idea. I just showered and there's a little bit of like water dripping from my hair, even though I kind of dried it. Like it's not that wet. So I feel like already from that, it makes me think of rain. It makes me think of a lot of emotion. It makes me think of a time where you feel confused. Like there are a lot of rain clouds around you, but it also feels like you know something is shifting, something is coming, you feel it, but maybe you're lacking that confirmation. Maybe your practical world just doesn't seem like something is coming. It just keeps raining and raining and raining. But let's see what comes through with the oracles. I just saw the ocean, which is more water energy. All right. We have the underworld. I think for a lot of you, this will have been a time where you've dealt with a lot of frustrating energies, maybe frustrating people, frustrating situations, a frustrating period in your career, in your studies. More than anything, it feels like a loss of direction. It feels like not knowing where exactly to look, not knowing where exactly to turn. And this is likely because I feel intuitively you're going to be drawn in a particular direction. Maybe something that feels like your purpose, something that feels like it needs to be an integral part of your life. Whether this is a relationship, a career, a study, moving to a different place, it just feels like a big shift. And it feels like a shift that has been pending for some time, but the circumstances have not been right to go after it. Like there's always been something that has held you back, either physical obstacles or mental, probably a mix of both. And it seems like it's been a loop where you have felt anchored to where you have been, where you felt anchored to whatever you've been focused on, certain patterns, certain habits. I'm also feeling a lot of escapism, like avoiding making big decisions because they seem too scary. And of course, you don't want to do the wrong thing, but there is no wrong thing. There is just potential. But there is no wrong thing. It is not so black or white. And maybe it has taken you time to feel like you're really getting to that point where you know what the right thing for you is, for lack of a better way of putting it. I don't want to call something the wrong thing and the right thing. I do believe in the idea that you are in control of your own destiny, and it's not so much like, oh, this is a test, like let's see if you get it right, otherwise you're going to be punished. It's not so much that. And maybe it has felt a bit like you're being punished in a way, or you're being ignored or neglected by this collective consciousness, this collective wisdom, spirit, the universe that you believe in. And that can feel very lonely, to feel unseen, to feel unheard, to feel like it's always going to feel this way, it's always going to rain. But it won't. And you know that too, because, I mean, there is a very obvious example of it doesn't really rain all the time, at least to the same extent anywhere. And although that's kind of simplifying things, I also feel that it's coming to an end. This stalling, this feeling like you're not getting anywhere, the sense of being on pause, the sense of repeating the same things, the same lessons, the same thought patterns, coming to the same conclusions over and over again. But something just doesn't seem to have clicked. And there's also an energy of feeling alone in this experience. Like no one has really understood why you've stayed in situations you've stayed in. Why you've had to. Why you felt drawn to certain situations that maybe didn't seem logical. But they didn't have to be logical. I feel like you are very good at leading with your intuition. But I think at times you have trouble trusting it. And at times you have trouble hearing it. Because it's storming so heavily. Because there's so much fog in the form of fear and anxiety. And both of these are very natural emotions. They're very natural reactions that occur as a result of what you're perceiving or what you're thinking or what is thrown your way. So there is nothing at all wrong, or there's nothing wrong about how you feel or how you felt. It's all valid. But I feel that it has gotten to a point where you don't want to be afraid, because you are coming to realize that maybe this has been a resistance to change. And change is scary because we don't know what it's going to be like. We probably can't fully perfectly predict it. But I can tell you that I feel you're pulling yourself out of this space, out of this pause, detaching from especially this mental and emotional perceptual space. And that is what leads to change externally too. It starts within, and then it transforms the external. And I think you're entering a period where you are going to be seeing a lot of blessings back to back, seeing a lot of proof of your connection to the universe, to your connection to things and people and places you have already been feeling, but maybe you've been lacking that confirmation. Maybe there's been too many circumstances that have made you doubt this connection. And you know, it's not a bad thing to question things. But I feel like this sense of disconnect that you may have felt with your current reality versus what it is that you envision for yourself, or what it is that you know you're worth or meant to do. The type of people you've been calling to be around you, and yet you always have to deal with these frustrating energies, but this is not your forever, and you are not stuck. Even if it may have felt slow moving, like being in a bit of a swamp. That's the visual I'm seeing. Feeling like you're sinking a little bit, but this is not your forever. And actually, now is when that all changes. And it may feel like everything is breaking apart. I'm going to share with you these two cards. My childhood friend, one of my oldest friends, he was visiting for a bit, and we played around with like my tarot and my oracles a little bit, and there was this message that he out of nowhere relayed to me. So he is the inspiration behind this message, but now I'm just thinking of that. It has really stuck with me. We had the fault line card in front of us, and then the Starborn card, which is this one. And the fault line card, I'm gonna try to see if I can find it. I mean, it's in here for sure, but... So it was first the fault line card that came out, and then the Starborn. And the fault line card, which you're going to see in a second. And even the fact that it's taking me, like, I know what I'm looking for, but it's taking me some time to find it, to get there, even though I know what I'm looking for. And I know it's here. And I feel like this is a bit of a metaphor to how you may be feeling about what you want to bring into your life, an opportunity, a person, or all of it. But here is a fault line card. And we have the dead end right behind it, which is also kind of telling, because I feel like a lot of you feel like it's the end for something that you really value. And that may have been part of this like frustrating circumstance that you've been in. But the message was, it may look like everything is falling apart. It may look like a fault line. It may look like an earthquake is coming. But maybe when you zoom out, you realize it's just that you're hatching out of this egg and you're being reborn. It's just these walls, these boundaries that have kept you in place, that have allowed you, by pausing in some ways, to nurture yourself, to understand yourself better, to pause and to not rush into things, to learn to trust yourself, to find stillness, to find peace. And this doesn't have to be a perfect streak. But all this time, you have been growing. You have been preparing for what's to come, which is an entirely new chapter, a rebirth, a new version of you that you have been creating, manifesting this whole time. And I think a part of you always knew. But the fog, the rain, sometimes that makes it difficult to see the truth. I want to get some tarot to get some more details. I think this is maybe going to be a standalone reading, but we have the King of Wands, we have the Chariot. Always happy to see the Chariot in this context, because to me it signifies leading with your intuition. Like you are judging situations with your intuition, and it feels very balanced. It feels very in tune. Something you've been building courage for, this new chapter that I really feel a part of you has known was coming. And we have the Four of Wands. Celebration, union or reunion. And I think this is also union with yourself, with your true self. This energy of having been in this fog and illusions and confusion and maybe Maybe in some ways you've held yourself back because you've been afraid. But this is such promising, such encouraging energy. You're ready to go. You're ready to move. It's time now. When everything falls into place, it makes me think of 11:11. And bottom deck energy is the Magician. Right behind it, we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. The fog is lifting. And you already have all the tools you need to make it happen. You've worked so hard. I cut the deck and we have the Two of Pentacles. That yin and yang energy, that balance. Even if it may look like it's not balanced, it may look kind of crooked right now. But it's just a matter of perspective. And then you realize you are exactly where you need to be. And you will make the right decisions. Because I feel for a lot of you, there will be some decisions that are coming up. And I think it's going to play out better than you could have imagined. And look what we have as I was saying that. And I was saying that before I saw the cards, I promise. The Two of Pentacles, this is the Six of Wands, which I'm kind of having to cover up because YouTube. And the Seven of Cups in reverse. On the bottom deck, which I can't show you again, but it's the Three of Cups. And we have the Star. Like the Starborn. It's a new chapter full of healing, full of experiences you've been yearning for. It feels very in tune, like your intuition is right there on your shoulder at all times, very connected. Is there anything else that wants to come through? All right. Okay, bottom deck energy is the Nine of Cups, so I'll just show you that. But this is all I have for you today. I hope this resonated. This is kind of a new style of reading, I suppose, in terms of what I post on YouTube. Though maybe this is actually more the kind of readings I do for friends and myself as well. But yeah, let me know what you think. I am very curious to hear. I just saw 1819, which is like progression again, and 19 is the sun. So yeah. Now I will let you go and do what you gotta do. So hopefully I'll see you soon. And I am sending you tons of love. Take care and bye.